My name's Katie. I'm here from Further, formerly known as Select Account. Today we're going to go over a few things. Whoops. Let's see if I can get this to... There we go. The first thing I'm going to cover is the transition over to Further from Select Account, kind of the hows, the whys, and the whats of that. And then I'm going to kind of dig into the different products that are offered to you guys, the HSA, the VEBA, and then the two types of flexible spending accounts. And then lastly, I'm going to go over the tools and resources, including our newly revamped member portal and our new learning site. As I go along, I do have this, formal presentation up here, but if you have questions as we go, please feel free to stop me and ask, keep it more of a Q&A in that way. If you have a question, more than likely somebody else in the audience has the same question, and then we can answer that as we go, okay? All right. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is that transition over to Further. With the transition over to Further, the only thing that's changing is our name, our logo, and the colors. We're, excuse me, we just wanted to kind of put out a new name that's going to represent our direction, our focus, and keep it more people-centered. So we chose Further because excuse me, still new to us too, so sometimes I slip up and say Select Account, but Further, we try to go above and beyond for both our members, our group leaders, and anyone that we work with. So, and we also want to try to make a healthy difference in people's lives. So we feel Further represents that a little bit better. This is just an example of, sometimes some people will call in and have some questions, and they work with that customer service rep, and when they wrap up the call, that member is just so, you know what, that was a great experience. I'm going to leave some feedback on that member, or on that customer service rep. So the background here is just some feedback that we received on Kevin. If any of you have ever called into our customer service line and talked to Kevin, this is Kevin here. So kind of put a name with that face. So with that transition, we kind of just made a quick little spreadsheet for you here to kind of show you what's going to be different. Our member portal site has transitioned over to hellofurther.com. However, if you go to selectaccount.com for the next about 18 months or so, you will be automatically redirected. You're going to use that same login, same password that you've been using already, okay? So no real impact there for you. The member app did have an update. If your phone is set to automatically update, you probably have already seen that little yellow logo. If you're still seeing the green Select Account logo, you may need to go in and find that update. With debit cards, if you have a Select Account debit card, keep that same debit card. As you get close to that expiration date, we will automatically send you the new one with Further on it. If you were to call in now and need a new debit card, or you want to add a debit card for a spouse or dependent, the new cards may come out saying Further, but they're working behind the scenes through the same company. You have to excuse me, I have a little frog in my throat today. And then again, our public website is, you can still go to selectaccount.com or Hello Further. All of our member forms, as you can see, the ones that you picked up outside the doors, they are now branded to Further. But if you have any old Select Account forms that you're still using, the information on them is still good. It's just the name that's changed. Does anyone have any questions on the transition over to Further before I move on? All right. Either I'm doing a really good job or you guys are quiet, so. All right, so the first type of account I'm going to talk about is that flexible spending account. The medical FSA is one that you can put between $100 and $2,650 into annually. It's all of your pre-tax dollars to help you pay using pre-tax dollars for all of your medical, dental, vision, and ortho expenses. The way it works is when you make that election during open enrollment time, it's going to come out of every paycheck as the year goes on. So, you're going to make, let's say you made an $1,000 election during open enrollment. It works out to be about $40 every paycheck that's coming out. but you have access to that full $1,000 on January 1st. So it's a really great benefit if you have some early year expenses that you need covered. It's going to cover all of your 213D type of expenses, so all of your prescriptions, medical expenses. If you have a prescription for an over-the-counter medication, Band-Aids, all those are going to be eligible unless you're using that HSA account. If you are using the HSA account and having funds put into that, that medical FSA is going to help cover your dental, ortho, and vision expenses only. Okay? Is that clear to everyone? All right. Hopefully this is nothing new to you, but it's good to have a quick refresher. So the next type of account I'm going to go over is that daycare dependent care account. This is not for your dependents' medical expenses. This is strictly for daycare. Again, like with that medical, you're going to make an election during open enrollment time, and you're going to have those expenses that allocation taken out of every paycheck evenly. The one difference between medical and dependent care and reimbursements is that you're only going to be can't even think for a moment. I apologize. You're only going to be reimbursed up to what you've had withheld from your paycheck. So what we recommend doing is as your daycare expenses come in, submit them. We will pay up to what's in the account balance, and if there's any remaining balance on that claim, we'll just pen that until your future payrolls come in. So submit them as you incur them, and we'll pay them as it's withheld from your paycheck. Okay? Yes? The question was, what are special day camp expenses? And that's just basically day camp. So the IRS says that if you send a child to day camp, like let's say in the summer you go to a YMCA camp, or there's like, I know the Science Museum has a really popular day camp. Because it's a camp that they're going to and the main purpose is entertainment and taking care of your child while you're working, it's considered an eligible expense. So if you enroll in a day camp, it's an eligible expense. Overnight camp is excluded because that's going to be while you're sleeping. So the whole purpose is expenses while you are working. Okay? All right. So talking about that HSA, this is one that's paired with a high deductible health plan. For 2018, there are some maximum amounts that you can put into that HSA. This is going to be a combination of your own contributions out of payroll and also any employer dollars that are put into that account. So if you are on a single health plan, that maximum is $3,450 for 2018. 2019 has not been announced yet. When we have those numbers, usually around Halloween, we do announce those to everybody through our portal. So make sure that you're registered out there. And the family maximum is $6,850. If you are reaching age 55 this year, or you're already age 55, and you're on that HSA plan, you can put an extra $1,000 into your account. So that's going to be $1,000 if you're on single, or $1,000 if you're on family. They call it the catch-up contribution to kind of help you catch up for retirement. Does anybody have any questions on the HSA? All right. Flipping over to the VEBA. The VEBA and the HSA are similar in some ways where both of the accounts are going to roll over year to year. Any dollars that are put in there are yours until you need to utilize them. And you're also earning the interest on there, and we have investment options. And I will get into investments in just a moment here. The difference with the VEBA is that only employer dollars can go into that VEBA. You cannot add your own contributions to that. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your open enrollment options. The VEBA, just like with the FSA and with the HSA, it's going to cover your out-of-pocket medical expenses. So if you have copays, coinsurances, deductibles, prescription drugs, over-the-counters with a prescription, again, any of those medical expenses that you have are eligible under that VEBA. One of the unique benefits of the VEBA is if you were to retire early, so let's say you've retired at age 60, so you're not old enough to go on Medicare yet, but you have 5 years of insurance premiums that you need to find a way to come up with, right? The VEBA is the only account that will help you pay for those insurance premiums until you reach 65 and can go on Medicare. Okay? Yes? They can help cover COBRA, but if you retire and you're just buying a private plan, the VEBA would be the one that you would use for those. Okay. Yes?
It's my understanding that once you retire, you can actually stay on the city's insurance beyond COBRA. Can you use an HSA to pay for that as long as you do not disconnect from the city's insurance?
I don't know the specifics of the health plan. The question was if you can use HSA dollars to pay the continuation on the city's plan. I'm not familiar enough with the plan to give you a concrete answer. So what I would recommend is to call our customer service line, and they'll be able to look into there's a big matrix that the IRS has. So we'll be able to help you with that. Anyone else have questions on the VIBA? All right. Oop, there we go. All right, so moving on to investments. Now, whether you're in the HSA or the VIBA, your investment options are going to be the same. The first rule is that you have to keep $1,000 in your base balance in Further. Anything over that $1,000 can be moved into the investment accounts through our partner, Charles Schwab. With Charles Schwab, they have two different types of investment accounts. The first is their basic investment account, and that is when you keep your $1,000 in your base balance at Further, and then up to $10,000 moved over into the investment account would be in your basic investment account. We have over 30 different mutual funds for you to choose from. And for both of those accounts, there is an additional fee because it is through a partner, it's not through Further. It's $18 per year to have an investment account. Breaks down to $1.50 per month. So, if you're out there and your investments are doing pretty well, most of the time it will pay for itself. Once you hit $10,000 in your basic investment account, you can move that over into a self-directed brokerage investment account. Now, with our mutual funds, they usually are managed on the backside by Charles Schwab to make sure that they're still, making a profit. However, with self-directed, you're more on your own. Anyone that's familiar with investments, and other types of accounts probably already knows this, but I like to make sure it's very clear. When you are working with investments, it is not a guaranteed return. So just keep an eye on your investments. So, right now we're seeing some really great returns for our members using investments because the stock market's doing really well. But every time the market goes up, it can go back down. So I just like to put that warning out there just to keep an eye on things, okay? This is just a snapshot of what our investment options look like. It does say HSA, but that's applicable to both HSA and VIBA. So you get to choose from the different types of accounts out there. Any questions on investments before we move on? Yes.
Describe those options because they're so tiny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I apologize. So it just gives a quick snapshot of the different types of current ones that we offer. It's just a few of them. The top one says American Funds Growth Fund. The year-to-date return on that one is a 5.18. There are others on here. The bottom one says Delaware Small Cap Core. The year-to-date return on that one is a negative 1.91. So again, keep an eye on them because they're not a guaranteed return. Okay? You're welcome. So moving on to some tools and options to help you manage your accounts. We did revamp our user member website. If you have not registered for that website yet, you just need to go to hellofurther.com. You'll need your 7-digit ID number. That should be mailed out to you annually on your statement. If you receive an explanation of payment in the mail, when we give you notice of an ACH that was sent to you, it's on that statement as well. If you're unable to locate that, just give us a call, and we'll give that to you over the phone. We also have a mobile site, which is very user-friendly. Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
If you're already signed up with Select Account, you have an account, it rolls over,
Everything
everything stays the same?
stays the same from Select Account to Hello Further. You can still go to selectaccount.com and it will automatically bring you to the new website, but it's the same username and password that you've already had. It's just if you've never registered, you will need to register the first time. Okay? All right. So this is a snapshot of our new homepage on the website. It'll give you a quick overview of your active accounts and their balances. And then you can see in the black box in the center, I'm not sure if that's clear to you guys or not, but there's some quick links to getting reimbursed, making a deposit to an HSA. If you want to pay a bill right from our website using the Pay with the Provider tool, you can do that right there. Managing my card, if you need to issue yourself a new debit card if you've misplaced it, or if you want to order a debit card for a spouse or a dependent, you can do that right there. I also like to kind of throw out that if you are issuing a debit card to a dependent, make sure that you trust them to use it as it's intended. We have seen quite a bit of activity over the years from, and I hate to call it a specific group, but teenagers who don't really understand the consequences of using that incorrectly, because if they use that on something that's not an eligible expense, you as the parent are responsible for any penalties and paying that back. So if it does happen, call us. If it's the same year, we'll get it fixed for you, no problems. But if it's after that tax year is ended, there may be some IRS implications. Okay? All right. This just kind of talks over, the enhancements to the portal. We've reorganized the account and profile settings to make it easier for you to access, update your information all in one place. There's also, with the HSA members, you'll receive a task list that will help you better understand your account as well. We just tried to keep up with, what you're seeing out there for other online banking type of activity to keep it so, when you're going to your personal checking or savings account, you're not doing things completely separate. We just want to keep up with what other people are doing. And we have also launched a new website called learn.hellofurther.com. Out here, you don't even have to be a member, but you all are, so you have access to this as well. But it has a lot of cool tools out there to give you information on all the different types of products that we offer. If you want just general information on debit cards, there's also things like how to contribute funds, how much you can contribute to your funds, just a lot of very general information on all the products and offerings that Further has for you. It also has some tips for submitting claims, if you need help registering, all those types of activities out there for you. Does anybody have any questions on this?
Is that on any of our handouts?
I believe it is on the back of one of them. If it's not, it has the Hello Further website, and from there is a link to the Learn site. Once you get past registration, there isn't a quick link, which to me doesn't make sense, but there isn't one. So before you log in, there's a quick link to learn.hellofurther.com. Okay? And this is a snapshot right here of what it looks like when you search for something. So let's say you'd searched for claim payments or something. Just like, this may look very familiar to you from other searching sites. It's going to pull up a bunch of articles, and you're going to click on the one you want to look at. It is viewed as a web page, but there's a button right up top. Excuse me, you can download it as a PDF. So if you have, that might be a good tool for you, Tessa, if you're looking for information to put out there. You can download it as a PDF, print it out, keep it on hand as well. Okay? All right. If you do have any additional questions or comments or just need to talk to somebody about something, we have our direct customer service line, which is 651-662-5065. Excuse me. They are open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Our average wait time on the phone is 30 seconds or less. So you call in, 30 seconds on hold, you're to a live person. And we go, as our new name mentions, we try to go further, so we're not going to try and get you off the phone as fast as we can. We're going to stay on that phone until you have all your questions answered. We'll help you walk through the portal if you need help registering and processing claims out there. We will stay on the phone with you as long as need be. Okay? Any additional questions for me? This is all I have for you today. Yes?
I did go on and I thought I saw on there a place where you could actually scan in your receipts for your HSA claims.
Mm-hmm.
Use the HSA for future tax purposes and holdings.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit?
Yes, so we have an eVault tool. That's the current name is eVault. With moving over to Hello Further, we're using a different administrator for that. So the name is changing, but the tool, what it is when you have a claim, and let's say you're not quite ready to submit that yet, you can take a picture on your phone, upload that into our cloud, and we will store that for you. If you go out to the website, over the next few weeks, we are transitioning to this new vendor. So if you go out to the website and you're looking for it and you don't see it, it's because we're in transition. Or if you had documents out there, you can't locate them, they will be back. I promise they will be back. But transitioning, there's such a high volume of storage. It's not like a, drag from your desktop to a file folder. It's a very large process that IT is undertaking, but all those documents will be there for you.
And how long are they there?
Indefinitely. Yep. We don't have any end dates on the storage. So, okay. Yes. I couldn't hear that last part. I'm sorry.
Even when employees are no longer active,
Mhm.
the e-vault is still accessible to you.
Yep.
You scan up your receipts documents, they're there until you process all your claims, or you choose not to want it anymore.
Yep. The question was if you were to not be an active employee or active on the Further accounts any longer, we will keep continuing to store those for you. You will need to keep your login and password, but you know, as long as you keep that somewhere, you'll be able to access those documents. Okay. All right. That's all I have. Thank you.